Money trauma, how your childhood controls your financial life. Nobody tells you this, but your biggest money problems didn't start in your 20s. Or when you got your first job. Or when you made your first bad financial decision. They started long before that. Your money problems started when you were a child. Before you even understood what money was. You were already learning how to fear it. How to chase it. How to avoid it. Or how to feel unworthy of it. Here's the brutal truth you've been hiding from yourself. You're not bad with money. You were trained to survive, not to succeed. And until you face the money trauma you inherited, you will repeat the same patterns for the rest of your life. Why this problem matters. This isn't just about dollars. This is about identity. Every financial mistake you make today. Overspending, avoiding investing, living paycheck to paycheck. Fearing risks, doubting your worth. Is usually the adult version of a childhood wound. If you grew up hearing, money doesn't grow on trees. We can't afford that. We don't have people like us who succeed. Rich people are greedy. You should be grateful for anything. You didn't just learn beliefs. You absorbed limitations. You learned to shrink. To fear ambition. To settle. To feel guilty wanting more. And the saddest part? Most people never question it. They live their entire life according to financial rules. They never chose. 1. Scarcity programming, fear-based money wiring. The first psychological trap is scarcity conditioning. When you grow up in a home where money is always tight, your brain learns 3 things. Money is unpredictable. Money disappears fast. Money is a source of stress, not safety. So what happens? You grow into an adult who hoards money but never invests. Underprices yourself. Stays in jobs you hate. Avoids risks. Sabotages opportunities. Feels guilty spending even on necessities. Not because you're weak. But because your nervous system is wired to survive, not build. Real-life example. A kid watches their parents fight every time bills arrive. As an adult, that person avoids checking bank accounts. Because the notification itself creates anxiety. Another example. A child hears, "We can't afford it," 10,000 times. As an adult, they don't even try to change their situation. Because they assume success is not for them. Scarcity isn't a mindset. It's a program. And until you rewrite it, you will keep repeating the same financial behavior. No matter how much you earn. 2. The approval trap, money, love, validation, safety. Here's the second trap. When money was tied to approval in your childhood, you chase validation instead of value. Maybe you grew up with parents who only praised you when you achieved something. Maybe they used money as a reward for behaving well. Maybe you only felt loved when you impressed them. So now, you use money to buy approval, status, validation, admiration, temporary confidence, temporary identity. Example. A man spends $300 on shoes to feel respected for one night. Because he was never respected as a child. A woman buys luxury makeup. Because compliments fill the emotional hole her family ignored. This is what happens when your childhood taught you that worth must be earned. Never owned. You spend as a way to finally feel enough. Even if it destroys you financially. 3. The responsibility wound, fear of becoming independent. Here's the most painful truth. Some people stay broke. Because money represents responsibility. And responsibility terrifies them. Why? Because growing up, responsibility meant pressure. Taking care of siblings, being the mature one. Or dealing with chaos you never asked for. So as adults, They avoid building wealth. They avoid leadership. They avoid financial planning. They avoid long-term commitments. They sabotage success because success means more pressure. This is why some people stay stuck in low-income jobs. Not because they're incapable, but because wealth feels like a burden instead of freedom. Their childhood made responsibility feel like punishment. 4. The comfort addiction, emotional escape spending. Another wound. Comfort addiction. If you grew up with emotional instability, fighting, yelling, fear, neglect, or pressure, your brain learned to escape through instant relief. As an adult, you chase food, entertainment, shopping, impulsive travel, alcohol, dopamine hits, short-term pleasure. Not because you're irresponsible, but because comfort became your only safe place as a child. And every time you get stressed, your brain returns to the same pattern. Pain, impulse, relief, regret, repeat. This cycle keeps millions of people stuck financially, without ever realizing it's trauma, not laziness. Hard truths, sharp, bold, no sugar. Here's the part that stings. You are not bad with money, but you are avoiding the work. Nobody is coming to fix your financial wounds. Nobody is coming to undo your childhood. Nobody is coming to rebuild the discipline you never learned. You are wasting years repeating patterns that were never yours to begin with. You're not unlucky. You're unhealed. You're not stuck. You're programmed. And until you face your patterns, you will relive your childhood forever. Solutions. Do this tonight. 1. Name your money wound. Scarcity. Validation. Responsibility. Comfort. Label it. Patterns lose power when you see them clearly. Do this every morning. 2. Break one childhood rule. If you were told money is hard to make, learn a skill that increases your income. If you were told don't take risks, start a small side project. If you were told be grateful for anything, start demanding more from life. Do this forever. 3. Rewire your identity through action. Spend on knowledge. Spend on tools. Spend on health. Spend on your craft. Spend on your growth. Stop spending on validation, escape, comfort addiction, fake status, emotional bandages. The path out of money trauma is not easy, but it is predictable. Heal the wound, change the behavior, create the life. Listen carefully. You don't build wealth by fixing your bank account. You build wealth by fixing your identity. Money doesn't change you. It amplifies what's already inside. If you want external freedom, you need internal strength. If you want financial power, you need psychological stability. You don't become wealthy by wanting. You become wealthy by becoming someone who can carry responsibility without collapsing. Someone who builds instead of escapes. Someone who leads instead of follows. Someone who grows instead of repeats the past. Your childhood shaped you, but it does not own you. Not anymore. If this resonated with you, if it woke something up inside you, if you recognized your childhood in these words, then this is your moment. Your future doesn't change when life gets easier. It changes when you get stronger. Drop a comment. I'm breaking my money trauma. Share this with someone who needs to hear the truth. And subscribe for more psychology of money, discipline, and identity. Your transformation starts now.